Shoot! Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. We're indoors today. There's some very vicious and malicious rumours going around that it rains a lot here in the UK. Unfortunately they're all true. It does rain a lot. So we're here today filming in Castle Moorlander and we're going to be looking at the Boker Plus Tech Tool #1, and this is the Heinnie Edition. Heinnie have quite a large range of different knives, different tools that they have exclusive models. So this is their version. I'll turn the camera around and we'll have a look at this a little bit more while I'm doing that. If you like this content, please feel free to hit that like button. If you want to subscribe to me, that's great. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notifications, and you'll make sure that you receive those notifications as soon as my videos go live. So let's turn the camera around. So let's go through some information about the knife itself. As mentioned, this is a Boker Plus knife and it is the Tech Tool 1. One of the things I'm trying to work out is exactly what the one tool is on here. You'd think, because they just have the knife, that this is the one. But there's actually a glass breaker here on the end, so I suppose there are two knives or two tools. Does it mean that the knife by default is one that you'd expect anyway, and there is an extra tool on the end here? I don't know. But either way, these knives really were made to compete with the Victorinox knives. So there are different ones. There's a Tech Tool 2, 3, 4 that have different scissors and files and bottle openers and different things that are on there that come similarly out from here, like you would expect with a Victorinox knife. So some measurements wise, it is a 7.3 centimeter blade, which stays within UK legal requirements. It's also a slip joint, so again, you know, it is perfectly legal for you to carry here in the UK. The thickness of the blade is 2.3 millimeters. Overall length from tip to the glass breaker here at the end is 16.5 centimeters, and when it's closed it comes in at 9.5 centimeters. Again, I'm probably going to be comparing and get a lot to this, but what you'll find is roughly it is pretty much the same. I think on paper the knife, or at least the cutting edge for the Boker Plus, the Tech Tool 1, is slightly longer, and that's mainly because you have that the curve on the end there. The steel that it is made from, Swedish Sandvik 12C27, which, you know, I like the fact that Boker Plus decided to do that. I could expect to keep the price down. This is quite a cheap knife. I bought this was just shy of £20. For a cheaper knife like this, I'd have expected them to put in something like a 440C steel, but instead taking that next step up and choosing the 12C27, you know, I quite like that they did that. So you get a little bit harder. I think on the Rockwell scale it goes from 58 to 60, so you get a little bit better edge retention. I keep putting my greasy mitts on it. I'm kind of jumping ahead now, but the finish on this is a very high polish. If I bring this up here, you can see just how high that polish is. So it is a fingerprint magnet, but this, you know, that's knives. You get your fingerprints on them all the time. It is a drop point, so it, you know, you get that the beard on the beard. You get that little turn on the belly, but it's not full spear point where it's exactly the same. What's the word? What is the word? Symmetrical. There you go. Struggling with English today, sorry about that. So yeah, it's a hollow point. The grind on it feels like a flat grind, but it's not. Well, actually, it doesn't feel like a flat grind when I put my fingers on it there. It is a hollow grind, but it's very. It's not a particularly steep. Oh, come on, there we go. We're in focus. So yeah, hollow grind. Where's my little bit gone? It's a plain knife. There are no serrations or anything like that on there. Also, I mean, not to, feel free to check this out afterwards, I'll leave a link to it at the end. If you have a look for UK legal carry knives, the guys there do a teardown of this, so you can see exactly what's in there, and it has bronze washers in there as well, and it weighs a grand total of 55 grams, nice and light. There's no lanyard hole or anything like that, which, you know, some people like, some people don't like. Going around the knife, you have the 3 pins there which keep it together. So there, where it fastens at the back, there's your pivot, and there is the spring at the back. The spring is exactly the same as you get with these sort of knives. So as I open this, you'll be able to see here that it pushes that metal out. There is a really nice positive click at the end, and when it springs back, it does have quite a nice spring. It's not as strong and as shocking as these. The amount of times that I've been bitten by a Victorinox are too many to count. So it's not as aggressive as a spring back as you get with one of those, although it does have a nice little spring. On the inside, just roughly here, there is an extra bar as well. So the little, I suppose it's not really a choil. Sorry about this, I'm struggling to try and get this in focus today. Come on, focus. This little notch there, which I guess you could call a choil, it has a recess and a bar here to stop it from hitting any of the other bars when it closes. The liner, it has a steel liner, and it has G10 scales. Now there are a few versions of this, so as I mentioned previously, this is the Heinnie Haynes version. A lot of Heinnie Haynes knives, just to compare a few here as well, we have the Real Steel Lunar, and we have the CRKT Liangmar number 5. They all have the same G10 scales, because that's the Heinnie Haynes colours. And also on the back here as well, you can see there is a Heinnie Haynes little H there as well, so that you can, it's easy to see that it's one of their knives or one of their exclusives. Last little bit to point out as well is you have a pocket clip. So the pocket clip isn't, you can't change the sides for this pocket clip, although, okay, so you can't move it from this side to this side. However, you can move it, so whether you want it tip up or tip down, you can change that. As far as the knife is concerned, it's a really nice little knife. It's a very functional pocket knife, similar to your old-fashioned slip joints, those sort of style knives. The main reason that I went for this one over the different versions where you have other tools in there was mainly just because that's the type of style that I like. If it was that I wanted something that was a little bit more functional, then I probably would just keep this in my pocket. This is a knife that I carry more often, but you tend to find, especially here in the UK, when you take something out of your pocket and somebody notices straight away that it's a knife, these sort of simple pocket knives, pen knives, gentleman's folders, however you want to call them, they just get less attention and people get less worried when you take it out of your pocket, which is crazy because at the end of the day it's just a tool. They're designed in such a way that you can't use this as an offensive weapon. So, is there anything else that I've missed? No, I don't think there is. Have a look, as I mentioned, check out UK Legal Carry Knives, and they do a full teardown of this, and it's really detailed. They go into all of the different washers and different bits that are in there, even to the back of these. So instead of these screws being threaded directly into the liners, what they have is an extra thread plate on the back of this G10 liner, which is definitely something that I've not seen before, but is quite different. The thumb pick on this, if I bring this up, is nice and deep. You're not going to struggle to get that in there. Some other knives, they have quite small ones, but this one is very, very, very easy to get your thumb in there and bring it out. It's definitely not a one hand open, mainly because these slip joints are designed not to be one hand open. Hopefully I'll never get to test the glass breaker, but you really can get a good secure grip, and I'm sure you'll be able to hit that against something. Maybe one day I will do a glass break test with this. I'll do a follow-up video in the future. One thing I did forget to point out as far as the scales are concerned, this is the G10 version, but they do different versions of the scales. There is a very nice zebra wood scale, there's carbon fibre, there's quite a few different types. I'll leave some links in the description below to the Boker Plus website so that you can see these. If you're here in the UK, I'll also leave some links in the description below so that you can go to the Heinnie site so that you can pick up one of these if you want to. I'm not being paid by Heinnie to do this. I bought this myself with my own money. It doesn't reflect on the outcome of this video at all whatsoever, but it's an awesome little knife. If you're after something that is an alternative to a Victorinox, especially some of the ones that have the different tools on there, then I think these are a great alternative to them. They look different, they have that different kind of look and feel to them with the nice G10 that you get on there. It's a very smooth, very well contoured G10. As far as ergonomics go, it does feel really nice in the hand. So there you go. Hope you all have a great Sunday. Hope you all have a great week ahead. Don't forget, check me out on Instagram. You can find me at Moorlander_EDC. I'm also on Facebook, but I tend to be on Instagram a lot more than I am on Facebook. Like, share, comment, you know the deal. And for now, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. Shoot! Hi, I'm the Moorlander, and this is Moorlander EDC coming for you. Boo. No laughing. Shoot! Hi, I'm the Moorlander, and this is, I've forgotten, who is it? Moorlander EDC. I just realised there was one thing that I forgot to mention, and that is the scales with these. They do come in different varieties of. So one thing that I did forget to mention and that is the scales. So these, as a blah 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 blah.